Hey my friend, this is Stone. I hope you're having a good day today. I'm actually in my study because I want to show you something. Let me show you my computer here. Actually, I'll just pull up to it. This is my YouTube channel. I've got 245,678 views. Now, I started this channel, really started it probably about 6 months ago and started making these videos. And if you're thinking about, a guy falling down the stairs or a cat playing the piano, that might not seem that impressive in terms of views, but this channel is dedicated to helping you to have deeper purpose in life and having higher, greater productivity, getting more done. I've shot roughly 32, 33 videos, and with this content, we now have 250,000 views, or within roughly a week or so, we will have 250,000 views. I never dreamed that this blog would be that successful, and I just want to thank you personally for taking the time to watch and to grow and become more, so thank you. So today's video is going to be about my fundamental secret, or now not so secret, reading lists on becoming purposeful and productive. If you read each one of these books, if you read them all, you will have all of the fundamentals you need in order to be purposeful and productive. And I'm going to give you each book. There's a list of 5, and I'm going to give them to you in sequential order. You read them in this order, and I'm going to explain why and what each book is about. So I hope you enjoy the video. Thank you so much again for watching, and we'll talk to you soon. Okay, so for each of these books that I'm going to mention, I'm also going to put resources in the blueprint. If you go to stonejordan.info, you'll get links to each book to see where you can download the books, and then there will also be additional resources. So be sure to go there and check it out. There'll be all kinds of goodies. So let's start. Okay, these are the books, the fundamental books, the core elements that you need to read in order to have the core elements of being both purposeful and productive. Number 1, the Bible. Now, to a Christian, this is a no-brainer, and as a Christian, I look at the Bible as the handbook for this life and for preparation of the next life. When it comes to being purposeful, follow the will of God through the Bible, and it will give you the purpose that you need. Now, if you're not a Christian, let me recommend that you read through the book of Proverbs and the book of Mark simultaneously. Regardless of what you believe, these books will give you more wisdom than you will receive from any other book you could ever read. And I think if you try this, you will find that to be the case, and you may learn a little more. Also, there's a section on my website called Faith, and it takes you through really the fundamentals of the Bible in a few lessons, so be sure and check that out as well. But number 1 is the Bible, and that's all about purpose. It is the handbook for life, and no other book on this list even compares to it. But that's number 1. Also, if you want to read through the Bible in a year and you've just never done it, I have a reading plan that I'm also going to put in the blueprint. It's called New Year, New You. But it is a reading plan. You can do it anytime, and it takes you through the entire Bible in 5 minutes a day. And you just go through every day, you check off the checklist, and you read what it says. 5 minutes a day, no problem. Okay, so number 2 is the book Mindset. Now this is by Carol Dweck, and I said earlier that I was going to give you these in sequential order. The reason I'm mentioning Mindset as number 2 is because in order to be able to manage your time well, you need to understand what it means to have a growth mindset. And the book Mindset really talks about how people can be grouped into 2 categories: those who have a fixed mindset and those who have a growth mindset. And what it really does, instead of just giving you that information, it really goes from understanding it logically to really getting it in your heart, right? Because when you get it in your heart, it helps you to move forward with more of a growth mindset. So that's really number 2, Mindset by Carol Dweck. It's a fairly quick read. Number 3, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Now, this is a book I'm sure you've probably heard of. This was written really by who I consider the grandfather of productivity and time management, Dr. Stephen Covey. And the title is what the book is. Stephen Covey looks at common denominators among effective people and breaks them down into 7 different principles. And these are principles of both purpose and productivity. This book alone, if you read it, would really give you a foundation just for productivity. Amazing, amazing book. Book number 4, Essentialism, the Disciplined Pursuit of Less. Greg, excuse me if I say it wrong, Greg McEwen, I believe, wrote this book. This is also a fairly quick read. This book is about how you get rid of the non-essentials in life and you really figure out and hone in on what is most important in your life. And when you do that, you go from being a flashlight to being a laser beam. And he talks about the idea of how success sometimes ruins people because that success that they focus on to get to that point of being successful, once you're successful, you have lots of opportunities open up to you, and sometimes you stop focusing on the non-essential. It is a great read, and what it really does, it expands your mind to realize just how many things we have in our lives that aren't really that essential, that aren't really that important, and it gets us back to our true gifts. And finally, number 5, The 4-Hour Work Week by Timothy Ferriss. Now, I will say not all of the principles in this book do I completely agree with, but I kind of liken the 4-Hour Work Week to the modern age 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Through this book, kind of the principle of the book, if you go by the title, is that you can actually hone things down to where you only have to spend 4 hours a week doing work, and then the rest of the time you're fulfilling your purpose, right? It's not about being lazy, it's just about fulfilling your purpose. While that concept is really interesting, what the book does is it gives you so many chunks of information about how to be efficient. It really is that modern day foundational productivity blueprint. So if you go through these books in sequential order, now reading the Bible every single day, but going through each of these books in sequential order along with reading the Bible, you will really have all the core elements you need to live a life that's both purposeful and productive. Here in the future, I may go through my next 5, so I'm giving my top 10, but for now, those are the 5. Please leave me a comment below at stonejordan.info. Let me know what books you like, what resources you use to be both purposeful and productive. Thank you so much. Remember, do 2 things this week, be purposeful and productive. Thank you so much. We'll talk to you next time.